What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack, and I am not a financial advisor, and I am excited to be coming at you guys with a new video today. I've been gone for 2 weeks. I was away in Greece. You probably can't tell because I don't tan very well, but yeah, I was in Santorini for 2 weeks. I was chilling, and it was juicy, but I have to say, I'm excited to be coming back. And really quickly, before we get into the point of today's video, I want to let you guys know I'm going to be trying to get back to daily uploads Monday through Friday for the time being. So expect more content coming to your guys' faces. If you're happy to hear that, do me a favor, hit that like button nice and early for us. So to kick things off, there's a few things I want to speak about, but the primary one is this. It's Cathie Wood dumping Coinbase shares for the first time this year to the tune of 1.41 million shares just yesterday. Now, crypto is not something I speak about on this channel very often whatsoever, or coin miners, or Bitcoin, or Coinbase, any of those types of things. I want to start implementing it a little bit more because it is a huge part of the markets today. Whether you are only investing in stocks or not, I want to speak about it a little bit more. So we're going to, start off with a bit of Cathie Wood, a bit of Coinbase. We'll take a look at some cryptos. We'll see what's been happening. And one more thing I want to speak about, not even in relation to Cathie Wood or Coinbase, is why people invest in crypto in the first place, and just why some of those reasons may not be the right ones, let's say. We're just going to touch on a few things. What are the right reasons and what aren't the right reasons? So this was quite a big thing, guys. Cathie Wood dumps Coinbase shares for the first time this year. 1.41 million shares, okay? Ark Invests are the third biggest, or before the sale, were the third biggest holder in Coinbase altogether. They had a huge chunk of shares, and they still do. It's important to understand that this is not the entirety of their position whatsoever. Why are they selling? Coinbase stock plunged 21% amid reports of SEC probe. Now, there's more to it than just that SEC probe. We'll get into that, but before that, we want to speak a little bit more about Ark, okay? So they held about 8.95 million shares as of June end, and now they've gone off and sold this many shares. You can see just how volatile Coinbase has been. May 13th, we had 25% drops. We had 20% drops, lots of 10% drops. They've equally had, 15, 16% green days several times. It's an extraordinary volatile company, okay? Such is the crypto market in general. I know this is a stock, it's not a crypto coin or anything of the sorts, but you get the picture. Now, all in all, the short interest and the selling on Coinbase has been insane as of late, okay? It really was only a matter of time before Ark Invest had to trim some of their position with it being such a large one, unless they were going to double down. But fundamentals have changed here. I mean, the crypto market is not where it was early 2021, mid 2021 even, the same way a lot of the stock market isn't, okay? Their number of shares short are up nearly 800% this year. People are betting against Coinbase, simply put. Now, people are betting against the large majority of companies still to this day, but that is huge, okay? They're also down, I believe, close to 80% from the all-time highs. I mean, yeah, you can see there, even to where they are today, they're down over 83% from those recent 2021 highs. The latest leg down for the stock came after the company's awful Q1 earnings report. This particular drop has been caused by more than just investors exiting their positions. Coinbase reported a large revenue miss for the first 3 months of the year, and its sizable gap loss was a major issue. And with the company issuing weak trading guidance for Q2, and many cryptocurrencies seeing pain in recent months, I mean, we see Bitcoin drop below 20k, Ethereum below 15, investors have been placing huge bets against the name. And again, that's the short interest going up. Look at the chart. This is just the start of 22 here. It has gone up at an insane rate the last couple of months in particular. At the end of April, there were roughly 9.5 million shares short, but just 3 bi-monthly updates later, the number was more than 31.4 million. I mean, yeah, people are heavily betting against them. Goldman Sachs cut its rating on Coinbase to sell, while slashing price target from $70 to $45. The price target that came out Monday morning implied around 28% downside from last Friday's close. At one point in April 2021, this is an insane fact, the average price target on this stock was more than $501 per share. Now that number sits at about $123. Now the average price target is still far, far above where the stock sits today at $56, representing near 100% upside. But the fact that in such a short time the average has dropped 75%, it goes to show there was a little bit of excitement here. And again, remember where crypto was back then. Remember how excited people were. Remember the bull market. Remember how fast Bitcoin was going up, Ethereum, Dogecoin, every altcoin under the sun. You could throw money at anything. And that still exists in the crypto market today. I mean, if we just look at all cryptos, Today has been a fine day. If we look at the change on some of the smaller coins, you're still seeing 30, 20, 20, 50% moves on some of these very much so smaller cap coins, and even some slightly bigger ones as well. But it's not what it was. The same way that, the growth stock market's not what it was, or the tech stock market, or penny stocks. Now, one other thing to very much so be aware of if you are an investor is just the fact that they are under SEC investigation for cryptocurrency listings. Now, I don't think anything's going to come of this, and remember, I'm neutral here. I'm not invested in them, nor do I even really plan on being invested in them. But a US probe is looking into Coinbase. If it's improperly let Americans trade digital assets that should have been registered as securities, this is the kind of thing that's always going to go back and forth with them, okay? US SEC scrutiny of Coinbase has increased since the platform expanded the number of tokens in which it offers trading, and the agency probes into an alleged insider trading scheme that led the regulator last week to sue a former Coinbase manager and 2 other people. So that is quite a big one, and that is one that, I'm sure will annoy many, many investors. But these kind of probes are always going to go on. You're always going to see headlines like this. Still something to be aware of. One thing I want to speak about, okay? US stocks were higher Wednesday morning. Today, they still are up, generally speaking, ahead of the Federal Reserve's latest interest rate decision, scheduled for 2 p.m. ET. Investors widely expect the central bank to raise interest rates by 0.75 percentage point to curb rampant inflation. I think 0.75 is basically guaranteed at this stage, okay? Now, quickly, 2 big questions for the Fed. The first is whether these aggressive rate hikes will work to tame inflation. That's the biggest question for the Fed. At some point, they should put the question is when and how much higher rates will have to go, okay? And I want to expand on that a little bit. The last time rates were this high, if they do the hike that they expect to do today, the high end of the Fed's target range will be 2.5%. That would match the peak of the last rate hiking cycle, which ended December 2018. But it's less than half as high as the peak during the rate hiking cycle that ended in 2006. So it's difficult to know how much further this has to go. It's difficult to know if this is, going to really make much of a difference, or if we're just going to be reading the same headline in another 3 months. What's different this time is how rapidly rates have gone up and how this is happening after years of dirt cheap borrowing costs. That also brings me on to my next point. I want to just ask the question, why do people invest in cryptocurrencies? Now, obviously, there are many reasons. One of them has always been a hedge against inflation, okay? Similarly to why people have invested in gold, silver, commodities, uranium, whatever it is, corn, anything for years and years, oil, whatever it is. It's not exactly like those things, but if you ask a crypto investor why they invest, one of the reasons more than likely will be to combat inflation. But crypto hasn't been the inflationary hedge it was made out to be. Now again, this can be argued, and I do think that crypto has a place to serve in a lot of portfolios for diversification purposes. I mean, a certain percentage of it at the very least. But historically, cryptocurrency experts and investors touted Bitcoin, the original crypto, as an inflation hedge because of its limited supply of 21 million. The main reason people see it as an inflation hedge. If we need more money, they're just going to print more money, and that makes the value of our money go down. Look at inflation right now. It is insane the levels it is. Levels we have not seen for a very, very long time. All of our money is worth less than it was 6 months ago, 3 months ago. Bitcoin's value, in theory, uncorrelated to the stock market, puts it in a category of investments known as alts. Crypto is too young of an asset class to know for sure how inflation will affect it. It might not have necessarily been true that crypto was a good inflation hedge. It may have just been coincidental and that, up until now, crypto merely looked like it was a good inflation hedge. I mean, right now, inflation is at the worst place it has been for, again, however many years, and crypto is doing absolutely terrible. You would think that the inflation theory would lead to crypto prices going up right now. You would think that it would lead to Coinbase being up right now. You would think that it would lead to miners largely being up right now. You would think that it would lead to Ark Invests and Cathie Wood buying shares as opposed to selling. But that's not what we are seeing. And crypto, compared to the stock market world and pretty much any other commodity out there, is still in its infancy. Look at gold, for instance. If you just decide to cherry pick points in time, certain data points throughout its history, sometimes you could look at gold and say it was an excellent inflation hedge, but you'd have to ignore all of the times it simply wasn't. And the same does go for crypto, or may go for crypto in the decades to come. It is difficult to tell. Just keep that one in mind, guys. The only reason I'm bringing this point up is because I think it's one that's not spoken enough in the crypto world. I think a lot of people do just ignorantly scream, inflation hedge when it comes to crypto. We don't know that for sure just yet. Don't kill me for saying that one. I've nothing against you crypto investors. You guys have made a lot of money the last year or two. And like us stock guys, I've lost a lot of money in the last year or two. I think some more realistic reasons people invest, and the biggest reason people invest, is the equity potential. Okay, literally, one of the main reasons people invest in cryptocurrency is that it has equity potential. This means there's a possibility of a high return on investment. I think a lot of people who speak about inflation are kind of kidding themselves and are looking at the returns Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of those have brought in the past. And that's the real reason they're investing. You know what I mean? It's not just inflationary. And I think this is a fine reason to invest. You know, if people are looking for the big returns, crypto is a place where you can find them. They don't need bonds. They don't need a savings account, things like that. If you want the high risk, high reward, you know, you always have your penny stocks, you have your growth stocks, you have crypto coins. So do I think this is a surprise to see Ark selling? Honestly, kind of. I mean, it can't feel good for them selling at this stage. If you go back and look back all the way here when they first started buying, average cost $369. They averaged down quite a bit, but you will still see that, yeah, that average price has been quite high, around the realms of $278. As of right now, that is pretty much where it remains. So huge losses on this sale, considering that they didn't really trim very much until you go all the way back to the end of 21. Yeah, it's an interesting one for me personally. I don't know why they would be deciding to sell so heavily as of right now, but maybe they just need to cut some losses realistically. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for my first video back. If you did watch this all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I truly do appreciate you being here. It feels good to be back, man, honestly, and I'm excited to get back to pretty much daily uploads. You know, I really am. Sitting down to record the first video is always a weird feeling. You never know where to start. You never know what kind of introduction to make, but I just want to throw myself back in there. I want to throw myself back out there, get the videos done. If you watched all the way till the end, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I tried to make a video yesterday. I ended up with like 4 hours of footage. I got frustrated because I didn't like any of it, and so I slept on it, and here we are today, baby. And I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling happier, and I'm uploading this video, baby, for you guys. And it's the start of it. Let's get it. We're going to make some money again. Anyway, guys, please hit that like button. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I hope you are all keeping well. I'll see you for another video tomorrow. Peace.